Hey, tell a friend, talk to the people, let people know that we are on, we are doing it, and we are showing up. Good morning, Tasha, looking good, queen. Okay, so here is my topic for this morning, and I'm really excited about it. I want to talk about the power of focus, and really understanding how we can really change our lives. We can change our outcomes by simply realizing and becoming aware of what we're focusing on. So today, I want you to listen to this with a lens of um of gratitude, a lens of I'm here to learn, I'm here to grow. So when we have negative thoughts, when we think that, oh, I'm behind, I feel overwhelmed, I feel frustrated, those you need to leave those behind and only hear from a place of I'm going forward, I'm moving forward, and I want to keep moving forward. So power, the power of focus. Okay. The first thing I wrote down was the power is the energy you bring. That is the power that focus can give you, is it will literally give you the energy. So if you're like Alicia and you flew, 50,000 hours on a plane yesterday, came home to two toddlers and haven't slept all week, all the things, time changes, and you're still on power 30, there's energy, right? That's the power of what you're focused on. When you're focused on, I'm excited to get back to work, you show up for the things, right? It is the focusing on not how you feel behind or how you feel unsure or how you feel like I'm not confident enough or I don't know what to say. It really is when you focus on, I know exactly what to do. I know exactly where I'm going. That's why clarity is so important. I want to make this really clear. Anybody who sits at a diamond position, anybody who sits in a successful position is not smarter than you. They're not better than you. They're not wiser than you. They've just failed more times than you. So, in essence, when you think about it, it's like it's a humbling experience. How humble are you willing to be? Right? How stupid are you willing to look out there? How many times are you willing to make mistakes and get back up? That is the difference. That is the only difference, right? So, when you think about power being your energy, when I think of, do I want to make this post of my before and after? Do I want to make this post about this? The answer is just as a diamond. The answer is yes. If that is your clear path, it's a yes. Do I want to make my story post today? It's not even an option, right? If I want the business, I need to, it's a yes. So power is the energy that you bring, right? Focus is where you direct that energy. So if I'm showing up with limited energy and I'm directing it towards Facebook scrolling, you can see how that's not going to really multiply my business, right? Or here's a better one, probably more one that we can all relate to is if I have limited energy and I show up and I put it towards everyone's quitting. I don't know where to start. I don't even know who to message. I don't know where and we start going down that path, right? We're putting energy towards the negative outcome. That's not what you want. So if you have a picture in your head, just like, a visual, if you have energy and you have focus, can you imagine the power of the results that you would get is if you would take your energy and focus it? They say that Steve Jobs, what made him amazing at what he did, the CEO of Apple, basically made Apple what it is not that he was smarter than anybody else, but his ability to drown out distractions and focus in was like no other. He worked in 18-hour increments. He would focus, 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 focus. And so I think a lot of us struggle to have that focus. You don't have to have that focus 24 hours a day. But what are three things I can do every 18-hour increment to move my business forward? I can send messages, I can post on Facebook and Instagram, and I can create stories, right? I can create content and I can talk to people. Get laser focused. Knowing your business is going to be a huge part of that, right? Do I need to recruit more people? Put a deadline on it. Ed Mylett talks about reps and deadlines. Those are the two things that set people apart. They are constantly doing it. consistently, and then they set a deadline. I will be senior gold by this date, and I'm going to do the reps to get there. I will sign up 3 people by this date, and then they do the reps to get there. I'm going to send the messages. I'm going to have the conversations. I'm going to do the things I need to do. So what I want you to really be thinking about is, where is my focus going? So one thing that I do is I will ask myself questions. I had it in my garage forever and ever. It was on a whiteboard, and I've had it with me for years. It was the first thing I learned from my business coach, my very first business coach that I hired. I was terrified to spend $5,000, and I spent it, and he radically changed my life. He said, what you're focused on is everything. It is everything. It is everything. If I'm focused on what's going wrong, or how tired I am, or how exhausted this or this is going bad, that's what I'm going to get more of. So really focusing on that. When you focus your power on one clear goal, you stop wasting energy on doubt or distractions. And that's when momentum takes off. So who wants to be in momentum? Who wants to be in momentum? Yes, right? So it's like keeping focused and drowning out the distractions, not letting those kind of pop up, and the fears and the doubts doing that with you. So really looking into getting clear on where you want to go and setting that goal. So setting up yourself for success by having something that you're working towards. So why do people get in such high momentum around Leaders Retreat and Convention Contest? Because they have a very clear goal. Sign up 3 people, help some silvers. That's why even with Icon, right? People get excited because it's like, I know exactly what I need to do. Well, I don't know if you've thought about this, but if you're a brand new person and they come in and they help 2 people go senior silver, and they sign up some people, they're an icon, but they're also now gold, well, healthy way onto their senior gold with 2 legs, right? It's strategic to keep us focused on what builds a business that's going to last underneath you. So if your focus is on getting people on Triplex, you're going to get people on Triplex. If your focus is, and this was my focus from the very beginning of building my business, I want to get you on Triplex, but even more, I want you to get your Triplex for free. Even more, I want you to get your Triplex for free. So when my focus is that, it doesn't mean that you're going to do it, but it means that I'm going to be doing the reps as though I'm going to get people doing that. I'm going to be putting in the work as though that's going to happen. So that means how you guys follow up for Triplex, I follow up for the business, because it's more important to me that that person gets their products free. Why do I think like that? Because I knew when I ordered, it was a cost for me that I didn't know that I would be able to keep up if I didn't have the money. So when I'm thinking that way, my focus early on was, I want everybody, and our line, like I remember it to this day, our mission is that no mama pays for her products. That's what I would say. I would say it over and over and over and over and over. And our mission is that no mom pays for her products, because you should be getting to go have a ladies' night out and buy shoes and have your products. Right? So that was my line. That was my focus. And what I see happen is, when your focus is not in the right place, guess where your energy is going? If my energy is going to getting people to sign up for Triplex, that's exactly what I'm going to get. If my energy goes towards, I want people to sign up for Triplex, that's great. But more so, I want you to get your products at least covered. And then I'm going to work with you, and I'm going to work with you, and I'm going to vision cast in that process. So when we're focusing on the business, okay, so we're going to shift into this topic, okay? If we're focusing on the business, and I'm focusing on recruiting people for the business, my messaging even looks different, right? I'm not messaging for people saying, have you tried the products? That is a great way to get people in the door, and people do need the products. That's great. But if I'm messaging people and I set a goal for myself, I'm going to message 1 person a day specifically for the business. I'm going to message 2 people a day specifically for the business. Can I tell you the difference? Is if you get 1 out of 10 on a statistical number, okay? If 1 out of 10 people say yes, would you rather somebody say yes to the triplex and be very difficult to get them to move into building a business? Or would you rather one person say yes to the business? How many triplexes have I sold out of that 1 out of 10 if they just buy the triplex? How many lives have I changed if I have 1 out of 10 say yes to the business? And let's say they just go silver. For the same amount of time and only a shift in focus, I have quadrupled my business with no time added. Are you guys seeing this? I'm like using this analogy now, realizing that this is powerful. So when I say to you that our business opportunity is the best product we sell, it is. It is. So, yes, share the triplex. I'm not saying don't do that. But I am saying if you shift your focus to the business, and here's even more so. If you help your team shift their focus to the business, the results you're going to get are going to be crazy. So when I started out with the business, even though I didn't want to do it. And even though I felt scared, and even though I didn't want to really necessarily go down that path, I knew that I needed people to do the business. So when we say, okay, well, Alita, well, how do I get people to just do the business? Are you guys wondering this question? Nicole knows it. Ashley's saying, yes, come on with it. Alicia, you want to know or you know? What's the best that could happen today? I love this cup. Drop in the comments if you know how to get a person to do the business. Mary Pio said you ask. No one knows. Okay, I'm going to tell you. You don't force people to do the business. I wasn't in Nicole's face saying, you better post or else, right? I'm not saying that to her. Here's the difference. You can't motivate people. You find motivated people. Okay. So when I'm working with a business builder, and I'm laughing when I send messages in to my groups to show them like how I'm messaging people, because the reality is I'm not doing anything special, but I'm working with somebody who wants to be worked with. Can I get an amen? I'm working with somebody who wants to be worked with. That's the difference. So when people are like, well, what happens when I get ghosted? I don't work with those people because they're not working with me. Now I'm going to keep sharing. I'm going to keep trying, but more so do I want to put more? Let me ask you this question. If my energy is at a 4 for the day, I'm feeling pumped, I'm feeling excited, but maybe I'm a little under the sleep zone or whatever my thing is. If I have a level energy of 4, should I put that energy into somebody who has like not responded to my last 3 messages, isn't really talking to me, isn't really doing that? Or should I put that into messaging 5 new people about the business? Option 2, does everybody agree with option 2? Okay. That is what I have learned through just trial and error in my business. No one really taught me that. I just kind of figured it out. It's like, well, if I keep going back to this, it's a waste of my time, right? Now, there's a difference between follow-up time, but actual pursuing motivated people. I'm looking for motivated people. And I give people, probably 2 to 3 chances of not responding before I'm like, okay, now you're just on my monthly follow-up list. Now you're just on my monthly follow-up list, and now I'm going to seek new people because you're just not really there yet, which is totally fine. And people who are there can become there. Okay. So I always follow up, but it's a once a month follow-up versus, hey, come on. Like, you said you wanted to post. Why aren't you posting? Why aren't you posting? And And then I'm unrelenting. Okay, this is the next part to the focus part. I know you're all relieved when I said when they're ghosting you, you don't have to keep messaging them. Everyone was like, ah. But here's the thing. When somebody is like, yes, I'm going to do it, I'm unrelenting. I'm messaging every day. I'm giving next steps. I'm teaching them exactly what to do. If people are asking me what they need to do, that's when I know I need to go back to my system. I need to really look at what I'm doing with people and make sure that I'm tightening that up. I'm tightening that system up, okay? So if someone makes a post and they're like, "Well, now what?" I want someone to tell me what they do after the first post. And if you feel unclear, be honest about that too, because this is just as powerful.
The first thing that comes to my mind is praising them, like being like, you did so good. I'm so proud of you. Great post, great insight, and like really cone in on like the main thing that you loved about it. Like really emphasize that one thing.
I love that. Yes. Yes. And then what do we have them do next?
Follow up with any interaction on the post.
Boom.
So like
Come
I
on.
literally will screenshot, like I'll go into my new business builders and I will screenshot every single like and say, there's your 5 messages that you're gonna send today to those business builders or to your potentials, people who interacted. Now go message them and then I'll send them an example message.
Okay. Does anybody want to just yell Nicole for president here right now? I mean, let's go, Nicole. Okay. Does everybody feel like they do that? Yeah. I mean, because we don't know what we don't know, right? So if you feel like you're not doing that, don't stress, okay? We're always just tightening up what we're learning, and we all have places that we can grow in that area. So, but that's exactly right, right? I'm going to give next steps on a continuous basis. So they make a post, I'm going to tell them to message the people who liked them, responded, all the things, exactly what Nicole just said. Yay, 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 great post. And then the next day, I'm going to check in and I'm probably going to say something like, okay, girl, like do a picture of you with your paint drink and put it in your stories. And here's a couple story ideas. Action is going to create motion, which creates momentum. So if I can get, again, this is time consuming. Okay. So this is where I think that people kind of slow down in this area because they'd rather just sign up level ones. This is where I'm telling you, I'd like for you to just focus a little more on helping a business builder grow. So if Nicole joins me and she's a brand new level one, and I'm I also have, Alicia and Lisa and all these other level ones going, and I also want to sign up new level ones. Where is my focus best used to go for business? Alicia's mouthing it. It's cracking me up. Yeah, it's to the new builder, right? Because for example, like if your other builders are pretty good, like they're confident, they're on their own 2 feet, right? So I'm not going to focus necessarily there. A lot of my time. It's the 80-20 rule. You want 80% of your time going to your top people and 20% of your time going to the rest of your business. So I have a new builder. I'm focused in on her, right? So I'm helping her move the needle forward. I'm focused on helping her. Okay, now I want you to make this post. I want you to do this story. I want you to Can I tell you that it can quickly become your least favorite part because it's very monotonous and you feel like there should be more to it. Oh, this should feel I love when people come to me and they go, "What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong?" And I'm like, if you're even asking, it's because you're not doing anything wrong. Usually, if you're asking, you're not doing anything wrong. It's a numbers game. You got to keep going. You got to keep doing, you got to keep following up. And then all of a sudden, the floodgates open and it's crazy, right? So it's focusing on where am I focused? So like Alicia, for example, has a new builder who's really kind of um, new to the business, right? So like Alicia would pour more of her time there than she is anywhere else right now. That means they get fed first, right? So I want to make sure that it's repeat, repeat, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. Do this story. You should message some people. You should make a post. That is literally what I say all day long, right? And then I'm pouring belief in the middle of that. I'm reminding them that they can. I'm reminding them that they are able to do this. And when I'm doing that, I see such amazing results. When I don't try to get too fancy, when I don't try to, give some speech or something, I'm just saying, if you want to get your products covered, you should. Why wouldn't you? Everybody should have their products covered. And then I'm going to say, how do I do it? Okay, I want you to send this message to 5 people. Here's a great video. I use Alicia's triplex video with a little link, okay? And a little message that I've typed up to go with it. And then I say, let's do an event. Let's do a Zoom event. Let's do a chat event. What kind of event you want? Let's do one in person. Okay. And then I'm going to help them write their post. Please, for the love of all that is holy and good on the earth planet. I've never said the word earth planet before, but who cares? Do not let them just write their own post. Please do not say, make a post, and then not help them. Because what happens is now I have to go on the defense instead of offense. I'm going to go in there on the defense of like, okay, great job, but don't show a picture of your dog when you're posting with Plexus, or don't say the word Plexus. Like, there's a lot of nuances to how we post, right? And you don't want someone going rogue, like I like to say. And sometimes they hop ahead of you anyway, and that can get a little awkward, but I always correct it. I always do. I never, ever just let it go, because you don't want people to learn to post that way. I don't want somebody for their first post to go to Ashley's page and copy and paste a post that has no sense to the person posting, okay? So really focusing on helping them. If I have time to spend, I'm spending it on getting this person started. You have 24 hours roughly from when a person says yes to keep their excitement at a high enough to take an action. So you can't afford to not be focused here. You can't afford it. If you want to make good money, you can't afford not to have that focus on the first 24 hours, in my opinion. So I'm going to encourage them. Then I'm going to be there with them, unrelenting. They're going to see my name pop up in their messenger every day. And like I tell my girls, like I tell my level ones, I will be there until you tell me no. I will be here until you tell me no. And I don't make it awkward. I'm not like, tell me no, yo. But I'm literally just like, I'm going to help you because I know you can do this until you tell me no. You know what that does? It makes them feel special. It makes them feel like somebody's in their corner and has their back. Can I tell you what doesn't feel good? Because I've been on the opposite end of this, where I had joined a company just for their products. And the upline was a friend of mine, did the best she could, but literally did a total disservice to herself, because all she did was like, you should have a party. Okay. I would. No follow-up. You should do a post. Literally, my posting at the time was like, at gym. That was literally what I would say. Like, I didn't even do a complete sentence. Like, I go back, I'm like, what? Like, when Time Hop pops up, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, lunch. It's like, we didn't know how to post on social media. It was brand new. There was no next steps. So it's not just, oh yes, I got them to say they'd post. My job's not even close to over. My job's just beginning. My job is just beginning. And so when you can really focus in on spending your time there and helping build new people, and not getting frustrated and not getting bored and not feeling annoyed by all the questions, and you fall in love with that process, you're going to be a diamond. Fall in love with that process. Slow down. Stop telling yourself, I don't even think of things to say. I don't even think of things like that to say. I want you to start saying, of course I do. Of course I love this. Of course, because all it is slowing down, right? All it is slowing down and thinking, okay, how do I want this person? What step do I want them to take next? Not, Okay, yes, they're going to post and now I'm going to run off and do something else. No, no, no. I'm in your corner. I'm in your corner, Nicole. When you post, I'm going to be available so that when you're like, someone asked about Plexus, I'm on my phone. I have it close by. I've got your back. Can I tell you how terrifying it would have been for me if I would have posted about Plexus for the first time and my upline just was nowhere to be found for an hour or two? When people are like, what's Plexus? That is like literally scary for people. Okay. Or it was for me. I don't know about anyone else, but like I didn't know what to say. What is Plexus? I needed hand holding. So you have to think of it like this is where I'm going to focus in on, and I'm going to bring the time. I'm going to provide the confidence. And there's a saying that's borrow the belief. Borrow the belief. So I will say that to people. Like, I want you to know, like, I really believe that you can do this. Now, I say that to the people I really believe that they can do it. So I ain't lying. I ain't telling, my 80-year-old aunt so-and-so that she can do it when I know she probably, is going to be busy doing whatever, knitting. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that, right? But the people that I want to work with, I'm picky. I'm going to say, I really believe that you can do this. And I'm going to focus my energy there and I'm going to help them build. Because again, if I'm going to send 10 messages a day and I get one yes, potentially out of 10 or 20, do I want that person to be at least interested in the business and already been exposed to it? Or do I want them just joining for Triplex? What is better for your business? So it may take you longer, but eventually all of a sudden that wave will hit and all of a sudden you're just signing up business builders who are taking the products. At the same ratio, you'd be signing up products because you're still posting in your stories, you're still doing all those things. But instead of messaging to join your health challenge, I want to encourage you to maybe make a shift in focus. I will do that, but I will also add into that a business call, a business ask, a business part of my message will always have the business. You will never see me message somebody without the business. I don't even think I know how. Because the best product we have is the business opportunity. And when you look at, if you're here, I don't know. Are y'all just like not busy and want to like take forever? Is that what like the thing, right? It's like, no, nobody feels that way. Nobody does. So if I'm telling my girls only sign up people for products, I know it's going to take a long time. But I know if I can help them create and develop builders underneath them, which is teaching them how to handhold people, how to be there for people, the work ethic of we don't just sign up and leave them, because I feel like that is something our team does that's very special. That is how you're going to develop people and you're going to reach out to people for the business. And if you're wondering, how do I do that? Seriously, talk to Nicole because she's on absolute freaking fire about that right now. Seriously, signing up. She signed up 3 out of 3 of the people she signed up are absolutely like pumped about the business opportunity. So be around people who are doing the things that are moving their needle forward, that are focused on the business, that are moving it forward. Because again, if I'm going to spend my time messaging and 1 out of 10 people say yes, I would much rather it be a person who's willing to go silver than somebody who's like, no, I'm just going to try the products. I'll sign you up, but I'm not messaging for you. I'm messaging for the Alitas, the Lisas, the Nicoles, the Alicias, the Tashas. I'm messaging for a business builder. Because when I get a business builder, I just quadrupled my team, quadrupled my sign up in the same with using the same amount of time. So it's like 4-to-1 ratio. So does that help like kind of bring that in together of like why that is so important? Like I think we get afraid of messaging about the business, but imagine you're more confident about the business than you are the triplex. What does that feel like? Can that story be true for you? Can that story be true to you where it's like, I'm more interested in the business than I am the products? It's the concept that the products are amazing. They absolutely work. So you should do a business. You really would love to do the business side of this, right? So again, not signing people up for products, but just your focus shifting. And then remember, really look at where can I improve? Find one place that you can improve this week on finding that sweet spot of how can I improve messaging people about the business? How can I improve my focus? Where is my focus going? Okay, have a great day, y'all. Happy Monday. Let's rock and roll.